A car's roar tore through the fair's joyful jangle, a reckless snarl shattering the charity's hope. Lila, a shy teen racer, froze, her shaky voice a quiet cry as a bold driver's tires screamed, nearly hitting her. His loud taunt, harsh and smug, boomed over snapping flags, daring anyone to stop him. But Jason Statham, coaching nearby, steadied his breath, his mentor's strength a fierce spark ready to ignite. The fair's heartbeat, honking food trucks, jeering bettors, stopped, the air heavy with shock you can feel. This is Jason, guiding a teen to conquer fear, racing for a brighter future. Can courage beat chaos? Lila's trembling hands gripped her wheel, but the racer's engine roared louder. Jason's whisper, calm and sure, wove a plan, his voice rising above the crowd's shouts. Stay gripped, for the racer's mocking laugh, wild and sharp, signals a bold move as Jason's strategy unfolds, a plan to stun the crowd. Before we dive in, let us know where you are watching from today. Like the video and subscribe to catch Jason Statham's epic face-off with Street Racer. The city street fair buzzed with hope, yet a reckless spark simmered beneath its joyful beat. Jangling donation cans clinked in runners' hands, their coins a bright chime for a mental health cause. Cheering voices roared, lifting the evening air, while a crackling megaphone blared race updates, its sharp pops cutting through the crowd. Food trucks honked, their grills sizzling with savory scents, mingling with the warm hum of families and friends. Runners' sneakers stomped the pavement, a steady drum, but a tense edge lingered, as if the fair's lively pulse hit a storm waiting to break. Lights twinkled, casting a golden glow, each sound and shake a vivid call to join the cause, urging you to feel the fair's vibrant heart. Jason Statham stood by a race tent, his steady breaths a calm anchor amid the fair's buzz. Coaching a teen racing team, his strategic wisdom shone, his warm voice guiding with quiet strength, pausing to let his words sink in. His worn jacket hugged his frame, his focused gaze sharp, revealing a deep desire to uplift youth, to help them conquer fear. The stomping runners grounded his resolve, each beat a reminder of his mission, narrated warmly to draw you into his protective calm, a mentor's vow to spark courage in those who falter, pulling you closer to his purpose. Lila, a shy teen, lingered near the tent, her quaking stutter a soft murmur as she checked her racer's gear. Her eyes, bright with nervous hope, darted to the crowd, her slim hands trembling, a girl battling doubt yet yearning to shine. The racer, a brash threat, swaggered nearby, his booming taunt a harsh jab over the megaphone's crackle, his voice sharp and cruel, slicing the fair's cheer. His taunts clashed with Jason's calm and Lila's quiet wish, their vocal tones a stark contrast, building empathy for Lila's fragile courage, urging you to root for her fight. The fair's air tightened, the jangles and cheers a lively hum under a growing strain. Runners slowed, their stomps uneven, eyes flicking to the racer's shadow. A young couple paused, their laughter fading, while an older man's donation can shook, his gaze wary. The crowd's chatter softened, their steps cautious, as if sensing a clash. The megaphone's pop grew sharp, syncing with the fair's restless pulse, a tactile buzz of tension. Lila's choked sob, raw and sudden, pierced the noise, a suspenseful hint of trouble, narrated with a dark edge, foreshadowing the conflict ready to erupt, drawing you deeper into the fair's fragile hope. Jason's gaze locked on Lila, then the racer, his steady breaths a quiet storm. The fair's stomping rhythm fueled his resolve, each sound a call to guide Lila past fear. The mental health redemption theme wove through his mentorship, a promise to lift Lila's spirit, grounded in the vivid buzz of the fair, urging you to believe in her strength. The car broke the joy with a fierce growl, the racer's engine snarling through the street fair's cheering hum, a jolt that shook the charity run's heart. Zane Cole, wild and reckless, swerved his sleek car through the runners, his tires screeching, nearly clipping Lila, the shy teen racer, who stumbled, her quaking stutter a frightened gasp. The engine's roar echoed, a cruel shock that silenced the jangling donation cans. runners scattering as the crowd's cheers turned to screams. Zane's booming taunt blasted over the crackling megaphone, "Move or get crushed," his voice a harsh spike, shattering the fair's hope. The air grew heavy, the scent of grilled food souring with fear, urging you to feel the chaos threatening the runner's cause. Jason Statham stood firm by the race tent, his low hum a calm anchor, his mentor, wisdom, steady despite the panic. His worn jacket shifted, his firm tone cutting through the engine's snarl, slowing as he watched Lila, the weight of her fear sinking in. He paused, his resolve a quiet vow, his warm narration grounding his strength in the fair's frantic buzz, a beacon of hope urging you to trust his plan to restore order. The conflict surged, Zane's chaos against Jason's strategy, Lila's safety hanging in the balance. The engine's snarl lingered, a sensory scar sharpening the stakes, each megaphone pop a cry to save the charity's spirit. The better crowd, bribed and rowdy, erupted in shouts, their jeers a grating wave amplifying Zane's threat, quickening the air with danger, and runners faltered. Their stomps chaotic, the young couple's gasps sharp, the older man's donation can still, all pinned on Jason's next move, pushing you to brace for the fight. Jason leaned close, his whisper resolute to Lila. "You'll win this," his voice a steady fire, evoking shock at Zane's recklessness and hope for redemption. The crowd's jeers roared, but Lila's trembling hands steadied, her eyes meeting Jason's, a spark of courage rising. The mental health redemption theme wove through his guidance, a promise to lift Lila past fear, grounded in the vivid auditory sting of the crowd's shouts, urging you to believe in her strength. The fair's buzz thrummed, Zane's engine snarling louder, the tension a typewriter ready to snap, pulling you into the clash's heart. A taunt lit the fight as Zane Cole's booming sneer thundered through the street fair's jangling hum, a bold hurdle in the tense air. "Sell out, coach," he mocked, his sleek jacket glinting, his sharp eyes fixed on Jason Statham, who stood steady by the race tent. The taunt, loud and smug, aimed to shame Jason, to fuel Zane's reckless chaos over the charity run's shaken crowd. Cheering runners faltered, their stomps uneven, while the crackling megaphone buzzed, the crowd's jeers rising. The young couple's gasps sharpened, the older man's donation can trembled, fear in his gaze. The fair's lights flickered, the scent of sizzling grills now sharp with panic, urging you to feel the clash igniting. Jason's worn jacket shifted, his steely gaze firm, but a sharp exhale slipped out, a quiet sign of doubt. The fair's noise, runner gasps, honking trucks, faded as he paused, his mentor heart wrestling with the risk of guiding Lila against Zane's crew. His hands clenched, the soft scrape of his boots grounding his tension, slowing as fear of failure gripped him. The moment held, his exhale a raw note of worry for Lila's safety, resonating in the fair's buzzing chaos, pulling you into his struggle for redemption. Lila, trembling nearby, deepened her stand, her quaking stutter a warm plea to Jason. "I can race." Her voice, soft but brave, evoked empathy for her shaky courage, her slim frame steady despite fear. Her eyes met Jason's, a spark of hope urging you to cheer her on. She called again, her shaky voice rising. "Let me try." Bonding with Jason over resilience, narrated with a warm glow that lit the fair's gloom, a vow to face her doubts and shine. Zane's sneer twisted, his loud laugh grating as he kicked a donation can, coins spilling with a sharp clatter, a defiant setback that stunned the crowd. "Beat that, kid," he jeered, his crew's shouts swelling, quickening the air with suspense. The crowd's murmur spiked, the couple stepping back, the older man's eyes wide, hope wavering. Lila's sharp cry, "No!" pierced the chaos, her voice cracking with fear. The fair's jangle faltered, the setback a tense spark, as Lila's quaking resolve steadied, her eyes on Jason, reflecting redemption in the vivid auditory sting of Zane's taunts, urging you to brace for the fight. Jason's exhale hardened, his gaze a blazing fire, his boots firm. The coin's clatter echoed, but his resolve surged, a vow to guide Lila to triumph. The crowd's jeers roared, Lila's cry a defiant spark, the redemption theme pulsing in their stand, pushing you to the edge of the fair's stormy heart. The fair turned hostile with a sudden growl, Zane Cole's crew blocking the street, their revving engines a shocking roar that revealed a secret betting scam. Tires skidded on gravel, the harsh scrape cutting through the charity run's jangling hope, as three racers in sleek jackets trapped Jason Statham and Lila near the race path. Zane's booming taunt led, "You're outmatched, coach," his betrayal a cruel twist in the fair's fading light. The better crowd's jeers surged, eyes glinting with greed, the young couple's gasps sharp, the older man's donation can trembling. The megaphone's crackle hissed, the air thick with panic, urging you to feel the trap snapping shut on Jason's plan. Jason's steely gaze flickered, a trembling breath escaping, his mentor heart shaken by the scam's weight. The gravel's skid echoed, each scrape a sensory jolt grounding his doubt, his worn jacket taut as he braced against the odds. His breath slowed, Lila's safety heavy, the moment stretching as he questioned his strategy, evoking shock, his pause a raw fear of failing her, pulling you into his tense struggle for redemption. The stakes soared. Lila's safety and the charity's funds hung on Jason's plan, time running short as the crew's growls tightened their blockade. The fair's mental health cause, a beacon for all, teetered, the crowd's bribed shouts a greedy roar, urging chaos, each megaphone pop a desperate cry to save the run. Jason's resolve wavered, his breath quickening, the auditory growls a vivid call to outsmart the scam, urging you to brace for the clash. Lila edged closer, her stuttering murmur quivering, "Can we win?" Her voice tense, straining their bond under the crew's threat. Her scarf swayed, her eyes darting to Jason, unsure, her vocal shift a plea for courage against the scamp's shadow. The crowd's jeers grew, the couple's hands trembling, the older man's gaze faltering as Lila's fear tested their shared fight. Evoking the strain of chasing hope, Jason's trembling breath steadied, his gaze a blazing spark, his boots firm. "We'll beat them," he growled, his voice gritty and resolute, a determined vow cutting through the crew's growls. The words, quick and fierce, reignited his strategy, quickening the air with tension and hope, evoking faith in redemption. The fair's jangle stirred, the crowd's shouts faltering, Lila's stuttering resolve firming, the redemption theme pulsing in Jason's plan, grounded in the vivid auditory growls of the crew, pushing you deeper into the fair's fiery heart. Lila's pulse raced as Zane Cole's crew cornered her race, their engine growls and better roars rising in a breathless storm across the street fair's jangling path. Zane's sleek jacket flashed, his crew's tires skidding gravel, each screech a threat to block Lila's run, their revving a wall against the charity's hope. The better crowd, greedy and loud, bellowed chants, their shouts a wild surge drowning the runners' stomps. The young couple clutched each other, eyes wide, while the older man's donation can shook, his face pale. The megaphone's crackle spiked, the air thick with chaos, urging you to feel the escalating danger crushing Lila's stand. The consequences loomed. Charity funds and the mental health cause teetered, at risk of crumbling under Zane's scam. If Lila failed, the fair's beacon of healing would fade, leaving despair. The crowd's roars a sensory tide urging ruin, each shout a cry to save the cause. The fair's lights blinked, the scent of sizzling grills souring, the stakes a desperate fight for hope, grounding the clash in tactile chaos, pushing you to brace for the outcome. Lila deepened her stand, shouting steadily, "We can do this!" Her voice warm and bold, rallying runners to hold firm. Her scarf fluttered, her eyes fierce, her steady call a beacon of hope, narrated warmly to spark courage. Runners nodded, their stomps sinking, evoking a surge of unity against the crew's growls, urging you to cheer her on. Lila's role, a vow to overcome fear, lit the fair's tense air, tying to the redemption theme as she fueled Jason's plan drawing you into their fight. A low point struck as Jason's plans stumbled, a pained grunt escaping, his mentor heart voicing doubt. A runner's fall, tripped by gravel, shook his strategy, the skid's echoes slowing to amplify despair, his worn jacket sagging as he wavered. The moment paused, his grunt a raw fear of failing, Lila, the fair's hope dimming, pulling you into his sinking resolve. The crowd's shouts grew wild, the couple's gasps sharp, the older man's eyes downcast, all dreading defeat, the fair's buzz a fading pulse. Jason's breath steadied, his gaze blazing, his voice rising with grit. "Lila, you're enough," he growled, a desperate vow slicing the crew's growls, quickening the air with tension and hope, evoking a fierce stand for redemption. Lila's steady call answered, her voice bold, grounding the moment in the tactile roar of engines. A vivid cry to triumph, the crowd's roars faltered, runners' cheers rising, the redemption theme pulsing in Lila's resolve, pushing you to the edge of the fair's blazing clash. The fair flared with grit as Lila slammed her car into Zane Cole's, a crunching crash shattering the street's roaring chaos. Her racer's wheels screeched, metal scraping a barrier, sparks flying as Zane's sleek vehicle spun, tires smoking, its engine's growl choking to a halt. Lila, the shy teen, gripped her wheel, her quaking stutter now a confident roar, her slim frame steady in the driver's seat. The better crowd's wild chants broke, their shocked gasps sharp, the young couple's cheers rising, the older man's donation can raised high. The megaphone's crackle fizzled, the air thick with triumph, urging you to feel the race's blazing end under the fair's twinkling lights. Jason Statham stood by the race tent, his mentor wisdom a steady flame, his voice firm as he urged, "Stay sharp," pausing to let the words sink in, a convicted choice to guide Lila to victory. His worn jacket swayed, his steely gaze locked on her car, evoking a surge of triumph, his warm narration grounding his growth in the fair's electric buzz. He had shaped Lila's courage, his plan outsmarting Zane's scam, his words a beacon for her to shine, pulling you into his quiet pride as a mentor who uplifts youth past fear. Lila's role resolved as she won the race, her confident roar, "I did it," echoing, strengthening her bond with Jason. Her scarf fluttered, her eyes bright, her warm voice a bold cry, narrated with a glowing warmth that lit the fair's dusk. Runners clapped, their stomps a lively beat, the couple's laughter loud, the older man's cheer hearty, all rallying behind Lila's courage, urging you to feel their shared victory. Her triumph, a vow to conquer doubt tied to the mental health redemption theme, her roar, a vivid spark of hope, drawing you deeper into her shining moment. Zane's stunned halt came swift, his body slumping in his car, his silence a heavy consequence of his reckless scam. His sleek jacket sagged, his booming taunt gone, his eyes glazed with defeat, the crowd's awed hum a soft chorus. The fair's jangle resumed, donation cans clinking, runners' cheers swelling, the grilled scents warming as panic faded. The lights steadied, each sensory sound, crunching metal, clattering gravel, grounding the moment, a vivid echo of Zane's fall, urging you to feel the charity's restored hope, the funds now safe. Jason stepped back, his boots quiet, his calloused hands relaxed, his steady breath a cathartic reflection honoring Lila's triumph. Lila shone, he thought, his voice a slow, warm echo in the fair's clanking air, narrated gently to let the impact linger, evoking a deep sense of redemption. The crowd's hum softened, their eyes on Lila, the couple's nod bright, the older man's smile firm, all touched by her stand. Lila's confident roar lingered, her bond with Jason a testament to courage tying to redemption through his mentorship, grounded in the vivid auditory crunch of the crash, sealing the fight's legacy, pulling you into the heart of hope reborn. What did grit renew? The street fair, once a whirlwind of roaring engines and jeering shouts, now glowed with soft jangles, a gentle hum weaving through the evening's calm air. Donation cans clinked quietly, their coins a tender chime for the mental health cause, restored to its shining purpose. Runners' cheers softened into warm laughter, their sneakers tapping lightly on the pavement, a steady rhythm lifting the fair's spirit. Food trucks purred, their grills sizzling with inviting scents, the warm aroma mingling with the breeze's gentle touch. The crowd's voices flowed, happy chats, kind calls, a joyful chorus replacing fear's shadow. The young couple danced, their smiles bright, while the older man's donation can jingled, his eyes twinkling. The fair's lights sparkled, their hum a soothing pulse, each jangle a vivid echo of peace reborn, urging you to feel the quiet triumph of hope reclaimed. Jason Statham stood by the race tent, his calloused hands relaxed, his worn jacket still, his steely gaze softened. Courage lifts all, he reflected, his voice steady, narrated with warm calm that showed his growth as a mentor. The fair's soft jangles, a gentle beat, grounded his words, each clink a sensory calm echoing his resolve. He had guided Lila past fear, his strategic wisdom forging her triumph, his heart now full, a beacon for youth seeking strength. The crowd's warm murmurs followed, their eyes tracing his quiet stance. The couple's nod grateful, the older man's smile firm. You could sense his journey, a vow to uplift, fulfilled. His reflection a steady anchor in the fair's renewed air, tying to the mental health redemption theme, pulling you into his pride, urging you to believe in courage's power. Lila's arc resolved with radiant pride, her bond with Jason firm, their heavier tones a weighty closure in the fair's warm dusk. She stood tall, her quaking stutter now a bold cry. We won! Her hands steady, her eyes gleaming with courage. Her scarf fluttered, her warm narration a beacon of hope, her victory a testament to facing doubt. The crowd's cheers swelled, the young couple clapping, the older man's jingle loud, as Lila's strength shone, her place in the fair secure. Zane's fate stayed ambiguous, his stunned silence a shadow left behind, his crew gone, their growls faded. The couple's laughter rang, the older man's nod proud, their tones grounding the moment, a vivid closure echoing redemption's light, urging you to feel their shared victory. A symbolic moment reinforced redemption. Lila's raised keychain, a small but mighty gesture, narrated with weight, pausing to let its resonance sink in. The keychain, gleaming in the fair's soft light, stood as a vow to overcome fear, a beacon of mental health's hope. The crowd's hum stilled, their eyes on Lila, the couple's smiles wide, the older man's cheer soft. The fair's jangles pulsed, each clink a heartbeat, grounding the moment in vivid sound, tying to redemption through Lila's courage. Jason's quiet nod, a hopeful note, closed the scene, voiced warmly, evoking relief and hope, his gesture a final promise to guide others. The crowd's hum rose, Lila's cry echoing, the fair's rhythm a vivid tapestry of renewal, urging you to embrace a brighter dawn. What shines in the dusk? Jason Statham's silhouette faded amid the street fair's jangling rhythm, his steady frame a quiet shadow slipping through the twinkling lights, leaving the charity's warm glow behind. The soft clinks of donation cans, gentle and clear, wove a hopeful hum, their chime a heartbeat for the mental health cause. Runners' laughter rang, food trucks purred softly, and the crowd's kind chatter rose, a tender tide of unity. The young couple's cheers echoed, the older man's jingle bright, the fair's rhythm a vivid pulse of renewal, urging you to feel courage's lasting spark. An epilogue lingered in Jason's thought. Lila will thrive, voiced with closure, his sincere tone a calm anchor in the fair's clinking air. The words, soft and true, carried faith in Lila, her bold cry still ringing, her triumph a beacon of redemption. The crowd's hum followed, their voices warm, all lifted by her courage, urging you to believe in a brighter dawn. The takeaway? Courage heals scars, shone clear, narrated with heartfelt sincerity. Tied to Lila's raised keychain and Jason's guiding nod, a stand for mental health's hope. The fair's jangling rhythm, a hopeful pulse, grounded the truth, each clink a vow to rise above fear. The call to action burst forth. Share your strength with Mindset Matters. Comment now, like and share. Narrated upbeat, inviting you to join the cause, followed by a tease. Next tale, battles for wellness, sparking excitement. Hope bloomed, the fair's warm jangles a poignant close, pulling you into a world where courage triumphs.